So it is such a delight to be here with Thomas from Sebright Gardens, and we're going to be talking about some wonderful plants that are really starting to be in their glory at this time of year, aren't they?
Yeah, this is really the peak time for shade plants that come on really early, and lots of cool things happening right now in the garden.
So there's a wonderful collection of ferns and hostas. Tell me about some of these.
Well, we have quite a few different ferns. We've gone really big time into them, and I pulled out a selection so you can see the different textures and shapes to them. And ferns are really cool because they compete well with tree roots. They look really good in a woodland garden. They're really hardy. There's evergreen varieties, there's deciduous varieties, just really neat.
And you
plants.
just said something that I think is so important, Thomas. They compete well with the big tree roots, and that's why they grow in forest areas.
They do. Once they're established, they compete quite well with the tree roots.
And I do love the amount of textures. They're really such a vast, different look to each fern.
Yeah, this one here is like really frilly, this upside down fern. And the evergreen variegated holly fern, really cool. The evergreen maidenhair fern, and of course Siebold's wood fern.
It looks so tropical.
It does. It doesn't even look like
Yeah.
a fern. And then right down to miniatures, like this little crested maidenhair spleenwort, which is actually a native
of this
here.
area?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And they go so well with hostas.
They do. They go very well with hostas. And I pulled out a selection of hostas too. It's a little bit early for a lot of the big hostas yet, so I didn't pull out those, but the little dwarfs and the miniature size, they're really coming on now, and I pulled out a different selection of different textures, and they go very well with the ferns.
They do.
And some of the yellow ones with the red stems are really neat coming onto the market.
And I love that how this almost looks like just a hanging pothos leaf. It's so similar, and yet it's
yes,
a hosta.
a very glossy leaf.
Nice.
Yeah, really nice. And they don't compete quite as well with the tree roots, so you plant them out a little bit further from the root zone of the trees, but they look really good mixed in with the hostas
They
and the
really
shade,
do.
or the ferns in the shade garden.
And of course, you have a wonderful collection of abutilons, don't you?
Yeah, we've got lots of different abutilons for sale this year, and I've really liked them very much. They seem to be very root hardy for us. We'll get a winters where they'll take them to the ground, but if you mulch them down, they'll come back. They can do part shade or full sun here in our climate, and really nice in the back of the garden, or wonderful in containers.
And can I assume that if you're going to put them in full sun, you might have to pay attention to watering, though?
Yeah. They like to have good water, but they'll bloom all summer for you once they get going.
They're wonderful creatures. I love this yellow and red. Is that a Heuchera?
Yeah, that's one of the Heucherellas, the Heuchera tiarella crosses, and it's got wonderful season of interest. You can see on the bottom, we've left some of the old foliage. You can see that's what it looks like in the wintertime. It's this really bronzy color, and this is all new growth this summer already, or this spring already. Really nice and bright, and I actually prefer these over the Heucheras now.
Yeah.
And then they're wonderful shade plants. They like more shade than the Heucheras do.
And I know this is my TV wife Judy's dream plant is Beesia. She loves this.
Yeah, Beesia. It's hard not to like Beesia. Beesia is wonderful. It's evergreen, really glossy. It always looks like a house plant or a Michael's plant to me.
Right.
Like, that it doesn't look real.
Yeah.
But in the wintertime, the edges have this really dark purple edge to them, and then it comes on really early in flowers like this. Just always nice seasons of interest.
And who doesn't love a Trillium?
Yeah, we'll have Trilliums there. This is Trillium ovavatum. We'll have Trilliums at the sale today.
Wonderful.
And then primroses, the Sieboldii types make wonderful patches.
And I love it's so uniquely
so
shaped.
lacy. Yeah, this is a variety called Lacy Lady. We just love this one
Beautiful.
here, a good one.
And
then
what are these? These are charming.
these are another little woodland plant. These are anemonellas that we've got one in deeper pink and one in lighter pink, and they only get to about 8 inches in height. They form a nice little clump about that wide too when they're established. They just bloom for about 6 weeks.
And I have to say, there's so many things to love about Sebright Gardens
Yeah.
when you come out here, but epimediums, I mean, you guys, these
Yeah,
are amazing.
we brought a huge selection of epimediums because this is their season. Really good woodland plants. Once they're established, really good for drier conditions in the
Yeah.
shade. And they come in all different colors, purples and yellows and
give us the secret
pinks.
you said about this. What's the family?
Oh, they come from the Berberaceae family, so they're related to Mahonias and Berberis.
That's so
and all that stuff.
delightful.
You can see that in the shape of this leaf, but you can see the different leaf shapes. There's variegations, and there's edges, and there's purple leaves.
Stunning. And then the blooms.
Yeah, and the blooms look like little columbines.
And you are going to be at GardenPalooza today and have all of this stuff there,
Yes,
right?
we'll have lots of stuff.
Wonderful. So you can go to gardentime.tv and we can click you over to their website if you want to get more information, or better yet, just come out and talk to Thomas at GardenPalooza until 4 o'clock today. Thank you so much, Thomas.
Thank you, William.